Mario once again with MIA Microflight, and I've been working on the wheels for the half scale MIA Quicksilver Style RC Ultralight. Also, I've been working on some of the frame components, just resizing everything up from the quarter scale version. Just for size comparison, you can see my pilot takes a good portion of the seat right here in the wheel. There's the wheel right there that I just completed. I just cut the foam parts using my tool that I show in some other video, and 3D printed these parts overnight. They take quite a bit of time, to print these parts, but once you have all those parts, it really assembles into a nice wheel. I really like the way these are coming out. You can see how nice and smooth my cutter's performing. Nice cuts, and I'm not even going to glue these two sections here. These are 1 inch thick foam pads that I cut the wheels from. It's working out really well. I have to place an order for various size screws. These are going to be 1032, 1020, 1024 screws. I only had two this particular size, so that's why there's only two here that support the two halves of the wheel hubs. So there's a total of 246 per wheel, but that's pretty much how that looks. That'll be on the front wheel. The front wheel's a little bit smaller than the front wheel. Is 6 inches, let me put it that way, 6 inches in diameter, and the rear wheels are 8. The hubs are also slightly larger obviously for the rear wheels, but width is the same on all wheels, just to keep it nice and simple. 2 inch with foam tires. The axle for the back is a piece of PVC tubing. It's what I've been using, for I don't use PVC tubing. I use some other types of tubings in the smaller one, but it's got basically a threaded rod right through the bottom. Just to keep it also simple, and because this already has the threading there, I'm going to be using nylon lug nuts to do this. One option. The other option is just to go with my regular setup, which I use, just a straight smooth axle, and then I attach the wheel with wheel collars. So I'll probably go with the smooth shaft and wheel collars now that I think about it, because I want to keep it all the same. You can see some of the components. This is my family room, by the way. It's taking a good portion of this room, to do this assembly here. But I have all the down tubes, front and rear down tubes. I have the diagonals are in place. I stopped working on the front end because I want to finish printing. I'm printing the front wheel axle support. It's going to be the same as that I use on my other ones. But basically, everything's just scaled up, 3D printing, and so I'm in the process of finishing that. Once I get that finished, I'll be able to complete the front end here. The front end is going to be slightly longer than my other smaller versions, and that's just to bring the weight forward a little bit, considering that I may put the motor just for for the sake of doing the flight test and maiden flight, put the motor at the back as the full scale Quicksilvers are done. I don't prefer that method because it tends to create too much weight at the back that you have to now counterbalance with more weight at the front. So I'd rather put the motor at the front, and that way I don't have to counterbalance it with too much weight at the front. It keeps the aircraft very lightweight that way. That's the way I fly all my MIA Quicksilver Style RC Ultralights. Motor at the front for that particular reason, but on this one I think I'm going to put the motor at the back, and therefore that's why I'm kind of making the front end a little bit longer. These tubes right here are about 36 inches in length, and so it just so happens that I had these tubes. I just went through six tubes. I ordered 6 tubes a couple of days ago, and I got 6 foot tubes. These are 1/2 inch tubes. Also in proportions to the other ones, you know, just up to scale. And I pretty much I use them all. So this is what the frame is looking like. It's a pretty big model. As soon as I'm done with the front wheel axle support, I'm going to do the seat next. Once I do the seat, I'm going to do the base plate that is that triangular plate that supports the battery. And once I'm done with that, I think I'm pretty much I'll be pretty much done with the frame here. This tube also came in with these other tubes. This is you know, just a larger version of the other ones. It's a square tube, and that's how the full scale one is also done. You know, with a square tube. You know, it's the root tube where the wings attached to. So, and once again, you know, this is not a replica blow by blow of the Quicksilver RC Ultralight. As I've mentioned in many of my videos, I do these things my way. The way I connect the rods is different than if you were to do a blow-by-blow replica of the Quicksilver Quicksilver full scale ultralight. So I do it my way because this is a radio control model, and it's got to be a little more. It's got to be able to take a little more abuse than the real thing. I mean, the real thing, you're not one hard landing, you know, you're gonna total the aircraft. So you know there's in the real thing, you know, you're not landing a little bit harder. You're not there's no risk of I mean, the risk is there, you know, if you make a mistake, but the chances of making a mistake, you know, when you fly the real thing are much less, just because you're dealing with your life as you pilot the full aircraft. And these things here, you know, you're not dealing with a real life. You know, you're just dealing with a puppet on a pilot like that, and you know, so what if it crashes a little hard? So these are designed for for a little more crashability and with a little more durability in the areas that it needs to be more robust. And so this is where I'm at with this. This is going to be one of the first video in this that deals with this assembly of the main frame or the main trike. And so I'll probably do some other videos after this one, just to as I show the assembly process and the completion of this whole section. But as you can see, once again, it's taking a good portion of this area right here. Once I do the wing's going to be even bigger, so I'm going to have to move this to another location in my home here so that I can do that. Unfortunately, I don't have a huge shop, so I if my garages were clean and not so much clean, but if they didn't have the items that they have, mainly a lot of my models that I've done throughout the years, I would be doing this in the garage. But the garages are they're pretty packed, so I don't do this in my garages. So I'm having to use the rest of my home, to do this thing, even though my wife is going to have a little bit of an issue with well, so far she hasn't said anything, but because I've been priming her, that I'm going to be building this, as a reference point, for one of my customers. So she's been pretty cool about that. And like I said, this is going to be, I'm doing this as a one-time thing. I'm not going to be storing this in this manner that once it's fully assembled, because as you can see, it takes up quite a bit of room. So, but I am going to complete it, finish it, and then possibly get a flight of this, and that way there's a point of reference, for this particular size, as I do with all my other stuff. Once again, looking pretty spiffy, these wheels. What do you think? Mario with MIA Microflight. Stay tuned for more.